What's up, guys? Today, we're diving into the stunning Doutzen Kroes, a top model who, at her prime, was considered one of the most beautiful women in the world. And even in her 40s now, she still looks absolutely incredible. Before we jump into the breakdown, if you're interested in getting your own facial analysis, sexual market value assessment, or appeal analysis, rated by real-life girls, not AI bots, check out my Patreon. Don't miss out on the chance to learn how you measure up. So, I'm going to analyze Doutzen's face using 7 key criteria: eye area, jaw region, front profile, side profile, features, dimorphism, and harmony score. Let's get started. Number 1, eye area. Let's talk eyes. Doutzen's eye aspect ratio is 2.85, giving her a gorgeous almond-shaped eye area. Her canthal tilt is perfectly positive at 8.1 degrees, so those eyes are naturally upturned, which is a huge plus. Her sclera, the white part of her eye, is bright and healthy, and no scleral show at all, which means her eye health is on point. Her under-eye support is excellent, and there's no upper eyelid exposure, keeping everything clean and smooth. Her eyebrows are medium-low set, which is ideal for a female face, and they're dark and nicely shaped. They're positively tilted at around 11.2 degrees, giving her that sharp, expressive look. There are 2 minor things worth noting. First, her eye separation ratio is 48.1%, which is just outside the ideal range of 45 to 47.9%. So, her eyes are a bit wide set. Secondly, her eye spacing is slightly more than 1 eye apart, but honestly, it's not a big deal. She scores 9 out of 10. Still stunning, but a little room for improvement. Number 2, jaw area. Now, onto the jaw. Doutzen has great jawline visibility, sharp and feminine. Her bigonal width, the width of her jaw, is 86.9% of her cheekbone width, which is on point. But here's where we see a couple of minor flaws. Her jaw frontal angle is just slightly higher than ideal at 95.3 degrees, it's still within the acceptable range, but a little higher than what we typically look for. Her chin to philtrum ratio is also a bit off. Her philtrum, the area between her nose and upper lip, is 1.67 times larger than her chin, but the ideal ratio is closer to 2 to 2.5. Another point is her lower third proportion, which is 36.1%, slightly outside the ideal range of 31.2% to 34.5%. Both of these are influenced by her larger philtrum. Despite these flaws, I wouldn't call her jaw area average, it's just the philtrum that makes it look a bit unusual. So, I'm not going to deduct too much here. She scores 8 out of 10 in her jaw region. Solid, but not perfect. Number 3, front profile. Let's take a look at Doutzen's front profile. Her facial thirds are well balanced, with her lower third being the most dominant, again, because of her larger philtrum, but it still looks great. Her facial width to height ratio is 1.92, which is perfect. And her total facial width to height ratio is ideal at 1.31. Her cheekbones are high set, sitting at 88.3% of her mid-face length, which is very flattering. Her mid-face ratio is perfect at 1 to 1, and her ipsilateral alar angle is spot on at 91.6 degrees. And the deviation between her alar angle and jaw frontal angle is only 3.7 degrees, which is super close to ideal. Her lips are full and have a perfect proportion, with the lower lip being 1.8 times fuller than the upper lip. Her mouth-to-nose width ratio is also great, with her mouth being 1.6 times wider than her nose. Her bitemporal width, which is 78.4% of her cheekbones, this is decent but could be slightly broader. Doutzen scores 9.8 out of 10 in her front profile. Fantastic. Number 4, side profile. Let's now check out Doutzen's side profile. This is one of her strongest features. Her ramus to mandible length ratio is 0.58, meaning her ramus, the vertical part of the jaw, is ideally tall. Her jaw and maxilla both have great forward growth, which gives her a very balanced and strong side view. Her chin projection is great. And her gonial angle is 114.2 degrees, which falls in the perfect range. Her nose is straight and upturned with excellent projection and no dorsal hump at all. Her brow ridge projection is also ideal for a female face, giving her a very feminine look. Her nasofrontal angle is perfect at 129.2 degrees. And her nasolabial angle is spot on at 104.7 degrees. Her mentolabial angle, the angle between the chin and the lower lip, is also great at 94.1 degrees. And her mandibular plane angle is perfect at 20.5 degrees. Her facial convexity is 167.5 degrees, meaning her profile is ideally flat. A rare feature is that her orbital vector is positive. This is a major plus. No flaws here, this side profile is flawless. Doutzen scores 10 out of 10 at her side profile. Perfect score and 100% harmony in the side profile. Now look at her other features. Doutzen's skin complexion is flawless, with smooth texture and no imperfections. Her hair texture is gorgeous, and her hairline is ideal, no receding or irregularities. Her teeth are straight, white, and perfectly aligned, giving her a radiant smile. Her facial angularity is sharp and well-defined, contributing to her overall striking look. Her color contrast is excellent. She has white skin, blonde hair, and blue eyes, which all complement each other beautifully. She also scores here 10 out of 10. Total perfection. When it comes to femininity, Doutzen is the epitome of it. From her soft jawline to her high cheekbones and full lips, everything about her exudes femininity. She scores 10 out of 10 for dimorphism. Utterly feminine. We've seen her front profile score 95% harmony and her side profile score 100% harmony. Since the front profile is more important, I'm going to weigh that more heavily, giving her an overall harmony score of 96.8%, only 0.1% lower than Matt Bomer. Overall Doutzen scores 9.8 out of 10. Doutzen Kroes is practically flawless. Don't forget to check out my Patreon for your own personalized analysis, and leave your feedback in the comments below. Catch you in the next one.